Hey you guys, so I know it's been a while since I made a video. A lot has been happening. I had to move cross country because I am a military family. I was on a lockdown on a base because of coronavirus. It's a lot of craziness. Also, I am expecting, so I've been really sick. And tired. But I haven't stopped having dreams just because of all this. I got a really cool dream for you guys that I was kind of like, why? I didn't see a reason to share this video. Why God wanted me to share this video about this. But I'm going to tell you anyway. So in this dream, I was on a different planet. Planet looked way different. It looked like Earth, but maybe Earth before all the destruction that happened to it, before all the dinosaurs, before the Nephilim and the fallen angels cut down the giant trees that were as big as mountains that used to flourish on the Earth. It looked like that. The Earth, this planet kind of reminded me of Pangea from the Avatar, where it had like these massive, like mountainous trees that they could live in with different kind of fruits and stuff on it. Y'all, this is how you know that these people who make these movies know about other planets and other beings. Okay? All right. So how the beings on this planet looked, they were huge. They were considered giants to our stature. They were like 8 feet, 9 feet tall at least. Kind of like the Na'vi in Avatar. They were as big as them. I don't know how tall they would be, but they were pretty big. And they had 4 arms, 3 huge fingers. They had like their skin tone was like a clay color, like red clay. Their features looked somewhat human, but still were like robust, like thick noses, wide mouth, big eyes. They had big old foreheads, like their hairline started farther back. Like it wasn't like they were balding or anything. It just their hairline started farther back. And their hair was like this dark black color. And most of them didn't have hair like that. A lot of them had shaved heads, like they were bald. But some of the men had long hair. Well, the men ones. The females were more smaller, not in stature, but just like smaller. They weren't as beefy as the guys. And they lived in trees. They could climb trees like really fast. They were hunter-gatherers. Their clothes reminded me a lot of the African tribes that are on the earth. It reminded me more specifically of maybe the Himba and the Himba tribe, and mixed with I want to say maybe what is that African tribe? They have like the gauges and stuff like that. And like they can jump really high. I forgot what they're called, but I believe the Himba tribe, which is in Namibia, they have like the red skin, and they wear like the skin of the animals as clothing and stuff like that. They remind me of them a lot. But like it's weird because they were speaking a language that's not of this earth. But I could understand them in my dream, and it like would translate in my mind what they were saying. Now, these beings were not evil. I thought they were going to be evil or something like that. They were not evil. They were giving glory to God. They were giving glory and homage to Jesus Christ and God, which shocked me. I was like, wait, I don't know. I guess I just looked at them. They look scary, kind of. I thought that they would be like some humanoid Nephilim or something, but they weren't. They're actually, were very balanced with God and the earth and all that. They believed in God and Jesus Christ, the same God that we believe in, and they worshiped him. And like, I was listening to some of the conversations between the females, and they were talking about how good God is and how great and they were just giving praises and honor to God, like constantly thanking him for the food and thanking him for keeping them safe and all of that. I was just listening to their conversations. They would have conversations about food, gathering food and stuff like that. The civilization was like a tree civilization. Kind of reminded me of if you ever look at the tribes in Papua New Guinea, they live in these huge tree-looking houses. Like, they're tall, stilt-looking houses. Except they didn't live in houses. They lived in the actual trees. Like, it was so big that it could house. The trees were so big that they could house families and stuff like that. They would sleep in like, what do you call those, like hammock type things in the trees. There were babies. Let's see. I just like, it was just amazing. Like, it was amazing to see these. I don't know what to call them. They look like human, but not human. I don't know what really to call them besides like. The thing is the it's hard to explain. Okay, so this planet was made for them. They're tree people. They climb. You know how the three-toed sloth have like 3 toes? You know, they're kind of built like that to climb. Their arms are really long and big, and they're very muscular, and they can climb really, really high altitudes, and the oxygen levels are very high there. So, you know, they grow bigger than how it is on Earth here. So back in the day, when the fallen angels cut down these giant trees, there used to be more oxygen on the earth, which allowed things to grow much bigger than they can grow now. A lot of the animals started going extinct because the fallen angels and the Nephilim were cutting down these giant trees. These giant trees could feed millions. Not only that, but it was the main source of huge amounts of oxygen throughout the earth. And as the oxygen levels went down and stuff like that, the size of the creatures also went down. That includes the giants as well. The giants started getting smaller in stature, but they were still giants. Giants back in that time during the trees, the greatest giants that ever walked the earth were during the time when the giant trees were on this earth. Why? Because there was more oxygen and things like that. That's all. You can all look that up. That's all scientifically proven that, you know, the more oxygen and things like that and that's produced on this earth, the bigger the creatures and stuff will be. As well as the fish and the animals in the sea. There was more oxygen in the water, which allowed them to grow larger than ever. Not to mention, you know, the fallen angels were also experimenting with the animals and stuff, and that's how dinosaurs came about, these giant dinosaurs, and the reason why. And I hope you know that like a T-Rex and all that are just big old chickens. Like, to be honest, like, they have feathers and stuff like that. And did you know that scientists can turn on and turn off genes, and they can like chickens can have reptile tails and stuff like that? It's because that a lot of these dinosaurs came from chickens. Yep. And it was not mutated. This was not done naturally. This was done by the fallen angels to make these huge creatures. All right, you guys. That's it. Bye. I wanted to add one more thing. I just wanted to say that the fallen angels just took advantage of the environment because they understood that animals, if they wanted to make these big giants and creatures and things like that, the oxygen levels needed to be high so that their muscles could be filled and stuff. They just took advantage of the great storm.